Making a woman want to have sex with you is either a very easy or difficult thing depending on how you approach it. Guys who struggle to get laid when they're out there picking up women or when they're in a relationship or marriage will make some of the mistakes that I'm going to point out in this video. And guys who get laid easily are the ones who use the techniques and methods that I'm going to give you in this video. So let's just make getting sex easy for you from now on. Let's start with number one. Be sexually arousing to her rather than just generally attractive. So there's a big difference between general attractiveness, where a woman will be interacting with a guy and he'll be confident and she'll be thinking, yeah, this guy's confident, he seems attractive, right? He seems like a decent guy, and she feels attracted to him. Versus her feeling sexually aroused, where she's thinking, wow, I want him, I want to have sex with him, he's turning me on. And I'm now going to show you how to do that with number 2 and 3 on the list, right? So number 2 is a bit of a bad boy approach, and number 3 is a more tame version, but it still works. It makes her feel sexually aroused. It makes her begin to think about having sex with you and want to have sex with you. So the bad boy version is where you look at her like you want to do bad things to her. Now, this only works if the guy has been generally attractive prior to doing it, or is being attractive while doing it, right? So a guy can do that immediately if he's really good with women, and it can have an amazing effect on the woman where she feels aroused, she feels attracted, and she wants him in that way. But you can also do it after interacting with her for a while, making her feel attracted, and then starting to give her that look. Now, this is something that I figured out after years of picking up women. I used to go out and pick up women all the time. I enjoyed my choice of women for over 10 years, just living that playboy lifestyle. And then I met my wife. She was 20 when I met her and I was 35, and we've been together for 10 years now. When I started doing that, when picking up women in person, it resulted in me getting one-night stands so much easier, right? The women instantly knew that there was a sexual connection between her and I, and she felt aroused by it. She felt aroused by the fact that I was confident enough to do that, and that I was able to have that effect on her simply based on the way that I was looking at her. Now, in some cases I did that right away, but in other cases I had an interaction with her first. I started making her feel attracted by being confident, using some humor, being a bit charming and so forth. And as the connection started to develop, I then started looking at her in that way. And the woman would feel it, right? She feels it right away. She feels that sexual desire. It is a turn on because you have the confidence to do it. You have the masculinity to do it, right? The balls. You have that sort of dominance in the moment where you're able to look at her like that. Now, in terms of my wife, I've been with her for 10 years now, and it still works every time, right? This is something that I still do to this day, and it still creates that excitement inside of her, right? It's a flirting type of body language where there is that connection going back and forth that, okay, both of us want to have sex here. I'm looking at her and showing her that I'm attracted to her and that I want to do bad things to her. And the bad things don't need to be really bad things, but you just want to get stuck into her, basically. However, one thing I want to make clear here is that I'm not saying that a guy should go around and look at women as though he wants to have sex with them and that's going to make them feel turned on. He has to go and have an interaction with a woman, and he has to be attractive while doing it. In other words, be confident, express some masculinity and dominance and so forth, and the woman's going to feel attracted to that. If the guy is being nervous when he's doing it and the woman can sense that, then it's going to be a turn off. Likewise, if a man's just looking at a woman and enjoying looking at her and he's not doing anything to attract her, then she's not going to be turned on by that. She's not going to want sex because he's looking at her like that. It's about you having a direct interaction with her where you make her feel attracted prior to doing it or while you're doing it. Okay, so now for the tame version. Use intimate gazing. So you might have heard of triangular gazing, where you look at the woman's eyes, down to her mouth, up to her eyes, and so forth, right? You're looking in that general area, and that does cause attraction, right? If you're interacting with a woman and you're being confident, you're making her laugh, and you're also looking at her in that way at times, then it does create attraction. However, if you want to take it up a notch, then use intimate gazing, and that's where you're looking at her eyes and down to here, right? So in that triangular motion. And if a woman is feeling attracted to you, and you do that, then she's going to welcome it. But if a woman's interacting with a guy who is being nervous and he's looking at her like that, then she's not going to welcome it. It's going to feel creepy to her. It's going to feel unwelcome because she's not feeling attracted. But when a woman is feeling attracted to a guy and he occasionally looks at her like that, then it helps turn her on. Now, you can even take it up another level where you look at her eyes and down to her belly button and back up again, right? So when you're looking at her, you're letting her see that you're checking out her body, right? You're finding her attractive, you're checking out the goods, but you're not doing it in a sleazy way. Next, be confident and sexually present rather than confident and distant. So this happens with pickup and dating and relationships as well. So when a guy is out there picking up women or is on a date with a woman, he'll often make the mistake of talking to a woman in a way where he seems like he doesn't want anything sexual, right? He's just having a chat, getting along with her, and he might be a confident guy, right? He might be a great conversationalist, but she doesn't sense that there is that sexual connection between him and her. Now, in a relationship, it's totally fine to talk to your girlfriend or wife in a neutral way, but a mistake that a lot of men make is that they don't actually switch into being sexually present and making her feel aroused, and then they get into bed at night and they just think, well, hopefully sex happens, right? They move in, they cuddle her from behind, and she's not in the mood, right? He hasn't been doing anything to make her feel aroused. Now, sometimes a man doesn't need to make his woman feel aroused. She'll just want to have sex, no problem. But if a guy's having problems with getting sex in his relationship, then he needs to start focusing on making her feel aroused rather than thinking that she's just going to want sex like a man does, right? He gets a boner, he wants to stick it in, he wants to ejaculate, or he wants to ejaculate every 2 to 3 days or every 4 days and so forth. So therefore he wants a lot of sex, whereas the woman doesn't need to do that. So if his woman isn't very sexually interested, then he needs to make her sexually interested by being more sexually present. One way to do that is to understand that a woman wants to feel desired by a man that she desires. A mistake that a lot of guys make is that they are confident around a woman, right? Whether that be in pickup or in a relationship, but they are sexually distant, right? They're not showing that sexual interest in her. And many women actually feel insecure. They feel unsure. They don't really know if the guy wants them. And just like you as a man enjoy feeling wanted by a woman, right? Sexually, she wants you and you can see that in her, the way that she's behaving, the way that she's touching you. That feels really good. It also feels really good to a woman. So if a woman wanted to understand how to make a man want to have more sex with her, then she should focus on making him feel wanted sexually. And if a man wants to get more sex with a woman, he needs to make her feel sexually desired, right? But once again, it's only if you're being attractive, right? So if a guy's interacting with a woman and he shows his sexual desire for her when he's only being neutral or friendly, or worse, he's behaving in a bit of a shy or insecure way, then the woman's not going to want the sexual desire because she's not going to feel attracted to that, right? You have to at least be generally attractive in terms of being confident, masculine, or funny, or charming, or charismatic, and so on. Next, touch her in a confident, easygoing way. So the guys who have a magical charm with women are confident and easygoing around them, right? The guy will just touch her on the leg or he'll put his arm around her in a confident, easygoing way, right? He won't be afraid of how she's going to react. He's just a confident, easygoing guy. He's going to pull her into him. He's going to, touch her on the leg. He's going to put his arm around her, as I said, and he's not going to worry about it. That helps make a woman want to have sex with you because it makes her feel relaxed around you. She feels more relaxed and easygoing. She feels more confident and comfortable touching you back and being more open and being more free-flowing in the interaction with you. But if a guy is confident, but he's too serious about the way that he's touching her, where he puts his hand on her leg or he puts his arm around her sort of thing, or, oh yeah, come here, bring it in for a hug, and he's too serious about it, it makes her more uptight. It doesn't allow her to relax, and therefore she feels a bit more tense about having sex, right? It doesn't feel as comfortable and free-flowing as it would with a guy who's more confident and easygoing. Next, get to a kiss. So most of the time when you have a tongue kiss or a French kiss with a new woman, it's going to make her sexually aroused and it's either going to lead to sex that night or on the first or second date. In terms of a long-term relationship or marriage, it doesn't always have to be a tongue kiss. Instead, it can be a kiss that lingers, right? So when a man has the confidence to hold his woman there and give her a kiss and just slow it down and not just give her a quick peck and then get the heck out of there. Instead, just hold her and have the confidence and masculinity to slowly kiss her and just hold on to it a little bit longer that makes her feel aroused. She feels aroused because he's making her feel girly and feminine in comparison to his masculinity in that moment, right? He is the more dominant one. She is the one being led. She is submitting and going along with his direction, and that's arousing for a woman. Another way to make a woman want to have sex with you is to create more sexual tension by holding eye contact a little longer than usual. So sexual tension is essentially when you and her feel sexually attracted to each other, but there is an obstacle in between you and her having sex, right? It's not happening for some reason, and the sexual tension builds. You then eventually release the sexual tension with kissing and sex. One way to create some more sexual tension is to hold eye contact with her a little longer than usual and give her the sense that you know there's a private understanding between you and her that both of you want to have sex with each other. It's important to do it with a bit of a knowing smile rather than just looking at her in a serious way where you're holding the eye contact and there's no smile there, right? There's no subtle understanding of you and her wanting to have sex with each other. So make sure you add in the knowing smile as well. And finally, make a move when sexual tension has been building. So if you've been attractive while interacting with her by being confident, being funny and so forth, being charming or charismatic, so she's feeling some general attraction towards you, and you're also being arousing at times, then sexual tension will have been building up between you and her. So when you then make a move like draw her into you and hold her, or draw her in and have a kiss, or get her to leave a bar with you, or if you're on the sofa with your girlfriend or wife, you sit next to her, you put your arm around her and so forth, then she's going to want sex, right? She's going to be feeling sexually attracted and turned on, and she's going to want to have sex with you. Now, a mistake that a lot of guys make is that they'll be generally attractive around a woman, they'll be confident, having a good chat with her, getting along with her, and then he moves in and tries to draw her in to him, or he tries to move in for a kiss and she turns away. And he thinks, what's going on? You know, I heard that women are attracted to confident guys. I'm confident. What's the problem? What's going on here? Alternatively, a guy will be interacting with a woman and just be friendly and easygoing, having a good chat, getting along with her, and he'll be giving her the impression that he doesn't even want anything from her sexually. He's just a happy, cool guy, having a chat, and then he tries to make a move on her and she pulls back, she turns away. So if you want a woman to want you sexually, and want to have sex with you, make sure that you've been generally attractive first and have been making her feel aroused. And if you do that, she is going to want to have sex with you, right? She's going to be feeling sexual desire. She's going to be looking at you and thinking, wow, I like this guy. I want to have sex with him. In some cases, she'll then make a move on you, but you shouldn't ever rely on the woman making the move at that point. She still wants to feel desired by a man that she desires, so you have to make some moves and you'll see that she wants you too, she wants the sex, and you'll enjoy some amazing sex together. By the way, if you want to learn more about how to get sex, whether you're meeting women in person, you're texting women, or you're in a relationship, I have 3 recommendations for you. Number 1, if you want to get sex when you're out there meeting women, whether you're on dates or you're going out to pick up women, then I recommend that you read my ebook, The Flow, or listen to the audiobook version. The Flow is the easiest way to get laid or get a girlfriend. If you're texting women or matching with women on dating apps and you want to know how to text women in a way that makes them feel attracted and want to meet up with you for a date or sex, then I recommend that you watch my program, Text Attraction. Text Attraction is the ultimate guide on how to attract women via text for dates, sex, and relationships. It also comes with a free bonus called 1,200 text examples, and it's a collection of all the text from the program in order with a table of contents, so you can easily find any text you want when you're texting live with a woman. And the third option is if you're in a relationship or a marriage and you want your girlfriend or wife to feel more love, respect, and attraction for you and be more interested in you in a sexual way, to treat you better, to want to be a good woman for you. I recorded Make Her Love You for Life when I was 5 years into the relationship with my wife, and it's still what I do to this day, and it still works. Our relationship has only gotten better over time. Alternatively, if you want to continue learning on YouTube right now, here are 3 videos you can choose from in each category. Which of these videos applies most to you? Go ahead and watch that now to discover more secrets to success with women.